Let me show you what we're going to use. You're going to need the decorative dots embossing folder. This is tear and tape. This replaces sticky strip, and it's great because you don't need scissors. You just get as much as you want and you tear it off. We use this set called Halloween Treat, and we're going to use the little spider. And this is the matching framelit, Boo to You. We're going to use the hat, and we're going to use the boo. These are the cellophane bags that we'll need. They're 4 by 6, and you get 50 in a package. I'm going to use the two-way glue pen to adhere my boo to the front of the bag. And we're going to use white organza ribbon that I've dyed. Okay, so let me show you how to do that. Here's this piece that I just did. And what I used, sorry for that loud noise. I used our re-inkers. I used the Elegant Eggplant re-inker, and I used one of our spritzers. And you're also going to need 70% rubbing alcohol. What I did is I poured alcohol pretty much all the way to the top, and then I did about 10 drops of the Elegant Eggplant because I wanted it pretty dark. Now in the sample, you can see, I don't know if you can tell the difference. This one's a little bit lighter, and I wanted it darker, so I added a little bit more. So what I did is I had some bubble wrap, and I had just received in a package, so I laid this down, and then I just spritzed it. Now the thing with the alcohol is that it dries pretty quickly, and so I sprayed it all, and then I kind of just lifted it just to make sure if there weren't any drips, which there weren't. Laid it back down on the cellophane wrap and let it dry, and it really does not take very long. You know, I left it for a while, but I think within 5 minutes it's fine. You can always just check and see if anything's coming off. So it's real easy. I did not have any ribbon that matched, so I remembered that I could just dye this. So you could make this, use pumpkin pie, it could be any color that you want, which is kind of fun. All right, so let's go ahead, and what you're going to need is a piece of pumpkin pie, and again, look at your handout to see exact dimensions and scoring. The nice thing with this is it's an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and you can cut it in half so you can get 2 out of 1. Here's our cellophane bag. I went ahead and already ran this through the Big Shot, the Elegant Eggplant. I already cut out the boo out of our new black glimmer paper. And then this is the 1 1/4 scallop circle, and this is a 1-inch circle. And we're also going to need a scrap of Whisper White to do the spider, which will be on a 3/4 inch circle. You're going to go ahead and fold on the score lines. And then the next thing that you want to do is you're going to cut out your witch's hat. Now what you don't want to do is do your embossing first and then do this, because then you're going to flatten out all of the embossing. So I did this over to the side. I originally had it like this, and it didn't turn out. I mean, I didn't have room to where to put the boo, and it didn't look as cute. This way you can do it off to the side. Now the other thing is that you don't want to don't do this too far down here, because then when you put the candy in, it bulges out and it doesn't look as good. So I would try and get it up there as close as you can, figure out where you want it, open it up, and then run it through your Big Shot. Now I've already gone and done that just to save time, and then I went and did my embossing. When you put this in, you're going to make sure that you see this Stampin' Up and Sizzix, so you're not doing it backwards. And the dots are here, so I'm going to put my paper just so it's hitting on that line there. I can see my score line, and then go ahead and run it through. We're going to go ahead and put our bag in, and we're going to use our tear and tape. And run it on each side and tear it. And then it always helps just a little to press it down so that you can make sure it comes off real easily. And I use my paper piercer. I use this for everything. Get rhinestones, everything. All right, and then you're going to put this down at the bottom. Push it up there like that. Now we're going to go ahead and put, and then it's a little bit stiff, so you might want to hit it with your bone folder again, and that's why we're using the ribbon. Now I'm going to use Fast Fuse, and this is something I haven't used in any of my videos before because it's taken me a while to get to know how to use it. There is a little bit of a learning curve. When you go to use it, you want to just do a check and it'll come off like this. And what it is, it's kind of like, oops, went a little too far. It's kind of like sticky strip, but it's in snail format. And the reason I'm using it is just to make sure it's not going to come off here, because the candy's going to make it stick out a bit. But you have to remember, it's like sticky strip, and once it's ready to go down, it's not moving. Next, we're going to go ahead and stamp our little spider. I'm using the archival ink. It's brand new. I'm going to punch him out with 3/4 inch circle punch. Glue these together. You could also use Stampin' Dimensionals if you wanted. I'm going to put one on the back. And what you want is that it's going to hang down. So maybe, well, I'm going to put it right there. And then I don't have to worry about getting it where it's going to show on that side. So there we go. We're going to add our boo. Now, a little trick to show you is sometimes when you cut it out, I don't know if you can see in the camera, but it's white, you can take a Sharpie and just go over that so you don't see the white, if that bothers you. Okay. You could do it more than that. I'm going to use the two-way glue pen and add my glue. And when you put this on, you're going to want to hold it for a bit. That would go like that. I'm going to just hold it. Now the next step would be to fill it with candy. And I have to be honest with you, I cannot find where my candy went. I don't know if somebody took my candy, but it doesn't seem to be anywhere. So we're going to just go ahead and do this without the candy. But the next step would be to add your ribbon. You really could make quite a few of these very quickly and have them as cute little treats. So here are two that I made, and they are filled with candy. Let's see. And then, so I did do my boo going a different way, and there's that one. And if you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to ask. All right, take care, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.